Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 6, Week 4, Day 4. So today, of course, we got ourselves the class event for the Necromancer. Not too bad of a pure class overall. Normally Archmagus is used instead, however, it does have the particular benefit of having insta-kill on death, or when it gets a kill, chance that it gets up getting a additional kill. Which is one of the main aspects that you would use for it if you weren't necessarily wanting to have a +3 purple and you just wanted to have a +1 purple while still having half mana start. So sometimes it's alternatively used instead of Archmages, so normally it's better just to have the more consistent higher amount of mana accumulation. But there are those rare situations, plus you get some free passive souls, but that is a pretty irrelevant amount for the most part relative to, Nomopalooza and stuff like that. So that's the main thing that we got going on today. It was also, they had a sale, I believe, for 505 games because they're doing like a big anniversary thing. And we actually got a mail for that. I actually didn't even set the thingy. I almost forgot about that earlier. But, so that's pretty big. Of course, they got, the company of Infinity Plus 2 got acquired by 505 games. 2 years ago? 1 year ago? It was sometime recently. I think it was during the pandemic. So yeah, about a year or so ago. So I ended up getting that if I go back to my mail because I already claimed it earlier when I clicked claimed all. Maybe it was under its own category and I just decided to click on it. Regardless, it is taken and also apparently not in my mail. Oh no, I wanted to read the mail. Apparently we cannot read the mail. Unless it's still under there. No, where'd it go? But I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw it earlier. We ended up getting the new pet. Actually, should be under upgradable because I don't think I upgraded it yet. Nor have I equipped it. But yeah, there it is. The 15th anniversary of 505 games. And trying to think of what other 505 games. I know Terraria. Like, anytime I think 505 games, it's like, oh yeah, Terraria exists. Never played it. I've owned like 2 or 3 copies of it somehow through various means. But, I know that one was pretty big. Aside from that, I think Payday? And probably a few other things. But, yep, 15-year anniversary of them. Anyways, so we got this. Might as well go upgrade it and equip it for their celebration. Even has a 505 games balloon in it with the 15th. That's funny. But anyways, where'd it go? Oh no. Come back! Hold up. I just upgraded it and now I can't find it. There it is, 15. Equip. There we go. We got a bunch of balloons on our shoulder. The balloon shoulder. We shall float. We shall float into the air with all the balloons on our shoulder. Or at least it'll lift up our shoulder thing to be the shoulder pad. But there we go. So why is mail blinking again? Oh yeah, 5 gems for upgrading the pet. A little bit, not much, but hey, it all adds up into the 2,500 gems we're going to have to spend tomorrow, which actually I'll probably go over that next. So, of course, tomorrow we're getting 2 things, a new mythic and a new faction. So, very briefly, I do want to touch on that. We'll be covering the new mythic in the morning, and we'll be covering the new faction at noon tomorrow when we do our stream, as well as the normal nightly stream, as well as we'll be doing Pure Faction Saturday night. Pretty much the normal breakdown that we do for it. And we'll have a video probably on Saturday for it, with the Friday video being the one on the mythic. That's coming out in pretty soon, actually. 6 hours from now. It's at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so what is that? 4, 5, 6? Yeah, 6.5 hours, basically. Anyways, let me just go over it real quick, just to kind of touch base on it before it actually does hit tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. But before we do, hello, everyone! Hope all you've been having a wonderful week so far. Hello, NASA! Hello, Bill! Hello, Mister! Hello, Tyrion! Hello, Barbara! Hello, Daddy Shark! Hello, Sushi Ninja! Hello, Cookie! Hello, Mr. Jesse! Hello, Isabel! Hello, Matt once. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so things happening tomorrow. We're getting a new mythic and we're getting a new faction. Let's go over to new mythic first. So, if I can get to it. Why is it moving so weirdly? So this mythic's not too needed as far as what it does. It's very similar to a useless buffing troop that we ended up getting not too long ago. A couple of mythics back. However, this one's actually a bit more relevant. It is the Ola. He's a mythic from Glacial Peaks, Divine Fae. As far as what it specifically does, is it eliminates magic +1 attack from the first 2 enemies. So you're minusing attack from things that actually need attack. You're doing magic +1, eliminating magic +1 magic from the last 2 enemies. So with the things that you are attack reducing, you're basically magic reducing. However, it does overlap. So let's say there's 2 enemies left. It should both attack reduce and magic reduce those 2 remaining enemies. So there's that. And then on top of that, it also gets to drain all mana from the 2 strongest enemies. So basically what's ever going to be surviving most likely, the ones that are more durable and harder to kill, are the ones that are going to end up getting mana drain. This is a little bit inconsistent because if the enemy team hasn't really taken much damage yet and you have his mana up, then what you're going to be hitting with the mana drain might not necessarily be what you want to be hitting with the mana drain. However, of course, as you thin out the team, that's not as bad. Biggest issue with it, of course, no board control, no way to gain back extra turn, no nothing like that. So once it does its ability, just simply ends its turn. Biggest thing that it has going for it is if you can end up incorporating it into a pretty heavy blue team, it has a really good double effect. It both freezes and fairy fires a random enemy, or, you know, the same random enemy. So both of them will, the same random enemy will get hit by both fairy fire and freeze, you know, like all the other ones do. And then every single time you take a blue. So unfortunately, this isn't when you take extra turn, which would have made it way more powerful. But if you're specifically doing a very heavy blue build, you can end up constantly doing the freeze fairy fire spam, which is pretty good value. Both of those effects are really strong. Oh, it's a 24 mana cost. It's a blue, brown, purple 24 mana cost right there. Mana costs, trying to think of other things. I feel like Grey King would normally be used instead of this, because Grey King has a mana drain, Grey King has a silence, Grey King has damage, Grey King has board control. I don't know. Like if compared to Grey King, I feel like I would never want to use it in comparison. But this compared to like everything in the entire game, like there are instances where you would bring this out, but I don't know. I feel like more often than not, due to its mana, or you know, being the exact same mana as Grey King, you're normally gonna go Grey King instead. The main thing that has going for, I would say, is more so its final trait, the freeze fairy fire. A lot of value you can have in that. If you're building like a really heavy blue oriented team, this could be worth considering. A lot of very like blue spammy teams might end up incorporating him. But beyond that point, you're not really going to use him in many other teams unless it's really heavy blue focus. Kind of like how Grey King's mostly used in true damage builds. It's basically only going to be used if you're spamming blue every 5 seconds. Pretty much every other turn, if not every turn. Because that's where it's going to gain the most amount of value, mostly from its final trait more so than the ability itself. Though the ability itself isn't horrible, but it's basically just a buffing troop in reverse. So like for something like Guild Wars, this would gain very bad value and definitely not something you would want to use. So it leaves it with almost like no situation where you'd want to use it is the biggest issue. Because like PvP, normal PvP is like the only instance where you might want to bring it. Because you can't bring it to factions because it doesn't upscale. You're probably not going to bring it to Guild Wars because let's say you do this on like Blue Guild War. Well, problem with that is they're going to counter your blue. I guess you could do it for Brown or Purple Guild War, but I know, it'd still be kind of clunky. I guess you could maybe get away. Like have some kind of empower that goes to blue off of one of those two colors, and then they might not necessarily be hard countering you on blue because it's not blue day. It's like the only instance you might be able to get away with it. The biggest concern is that its ability doesn't give you much value as far as how Guild War is scored, because eliminating stats from the enemy does not actually give you any score whatsoever, nor does gaining stats for yourself. Only specifically doing damage, getting kills, getting more mana than them, all of which are things he does not do. Anyways, that's a new mythic. Overall, kind of meh. Nothing too over the top, but we're still going to be getting it rolling, going over, and all that good stuff. Anyways, let's go bring up all of the mythics, or not mythics, but all of the new troops that are coming out tomorrow. Might as well just post all of them first, and then we can go get them. Also, why do I keep doing it like that? You can actually just copy the link, can't you? So if I go here and click copy link address, that should be exactly what I need. We'll find out when it goes to the right location, right? There we go, perfect. So I'll save some time. I'll go get the rest of these. And I'll probably go mess with the class event. I do want to go over these briefly. Let's see. Okay, so first troop of the ones coming out tomorrow, in about 6 hours from now, is the Horned Worm. It is a rare dragon. As far as what it does, it has 12 mana costs, blue, yellow. Ends up dealing magic +3 damage to an enemy. And if the enemy dies, creates a bunch of skulls. Overall, not really something you're going to be using much. It has 2 traits that pretty much everything in this kingdom has, with the last one being unique to this place, or at least currently anyways. It has 30% skull reduction. All of them have skull reduction. One of them does have 50% though, which is a bit higher, and generally going to be the one that you're going to be using as your proper tank. And they all have this unique trait of Bone Pile. One thing to note is you might want to specifically not go and upgrade these immediately. The main reason I say this is Bone Pile can actually backfire on you a bit. It has a 25% chance to convert a purple gem into a skull when my turn begins. However, this combined with the fact of what the legend does, combined with the fact that the enemy will also be doing it for the first and final battle, will end up causing a lot of additional skulls that might actually get in your way more so than they will help you. So do be wary that you might initially want to deliberately not fully upgrade them, and specifically do not get their final trait until after you've done Pure Faction. Unless you feel like it would actually help you for Pure Faction, but there's a good chance it's actually easier without it, just because the enemy, of course, will get a bit more value from taking a random skull than you will, and you want to focus more so on the skulls rather than getting hit by them, or, you know, because you have to get more advantage over the enemy then. So you have to be taking like twice as many skulls, but creating more skulls in such a small amount can end up causing it to backfire. And you want as few of those happening as possible, so just not having to trait to begin with is probably going to be beneficial. So do be mindful, as every single one of these do have that a trait that you might want to deliberately not get, at least initially, until you've done Pure Faction 500, assuming you're going for it. I know the legend is not in the first battle, but it's in the final. I was referring to both the first and final battle has this mechanic, because you're still going to have to deal with 4 bone piles in the first battle. It's not the same as the legend doing 2 skulls, but it's still going to be spamming skulls every single time, because realistically, with 4 of them, you're going to be creating at least 1 skull per turn. Not guaranteed, but you know, it's pretty likely that on turn to turn, if you both had it and the enemy had it, you're going to be creating at least 1 skull per turn, both ways, which can get in the way more so than it would probably help. Anyways, next one, we have the Nether Worm. It's an ultra rare dragon. Also, all these are for Dragon's Claw, by the way. The whole faction is Dragon Claw, red yellow restriction. Drains up to 12 mana from an enemy, and it creates a bunch of skulls equal to the mana drained. This is another one that you're likely not going to be using for the faction. Overall, you could end up using 1 if you really want to. Biggest issue is 14 mana cost is quite a lot just to drain 12 from the enemy. It's not even, you know, a positive drain exchange. You're not even draining as much as mana cost you're using, so the only thing you're really getting out of it's the skull spam. And given that most things from this kingdom, you're not even going to necessarily be able to get the full drain out of, because if they're, you know, you normally want to do it while they're partially filled. So overall, probably not one you're going to be using. Has basically the same setup as the other one, 30% score reduction, and bone pile. Has pretty much everything here has except the legends. Next is the Terra Worm. This one you actually are going to be using, and probably going to be using 2 copies for Pure Faction. Another epic dragon. As far as what it ends up doing, it's a 13 mana cost brown yellow, which oddly enough is actually 1 mana cost cheaper than the ultra rare, and it gains despite being a higher rarity. And it gains magic +1 attack and armor. That alone is already enough to know you should be using this. Anything that ever gains both attack and durability basically auto wins any faction it exists in. So use this. It is your auto win ticket. Use 2 if you feel like one's going to die. And it's boosted by skulls at a 2-to-1. So if there's 10 skulls on the board, it would get additional 5 attack and armor, which is pretty minuscule, but it's better than no extra. But the main extra thing that's pretty useful is it gets to explode 3 gems. So you get a bit of board clear, you get a bit of mana accumulation. Hopefully that won't backfire into skulls for the enemy, but overall that's still good to get some mana back. On top of that, it also has Stone Skin, making it have the high score reduction of anything in this faction, having a 50%. And of course it has Bone Pile, as pretty much everything here has, except for the legend. As far as the legend, it is the Great Worm. It is the legendary dragon, as far as what it ends up doing. It is a red-yellow 16 mana cost. It's pretty much your standard AoE dragon. It deals magic +2 damage to all enemies, boosted by skulls at a 2-to-1. So nothing too special here. It is basically just those useless tier dragons that you'd kind of expect. Main noteworthy thing about it is, well, of course, it has a score reduction, like everything in this kingdom has, which is going to be really annoying because at minimum you have to deal with 30% score reduction on everything, with the legend having 50%. But the main unique thing about him, which might actually be usable outside this faction, it creates 2 skulls when its turn begins. This is every single turn. If you had 3 of them on your team, that's 6 skulls. Don't do that for Pure Faction, though. Pure Faction team is likely double the Epic with double the Legends. You could end up going 3 Legends if you really want to, but I feel like 2 Legends going to be fine. Just double cast that and just have the backup tank in case the first one dies. But yeah, it's either one of the Epic with 3 Legends or 2 Epic, 2 Legends is going to be Pure Faction for this place, depending on what you want to roll. Once again, you might want to specifically not get it fully traded, as you will be creating a billion skulls every single turn, and the chance that they are going to help you is less likely than it will help the enemy, given that the enemy ends up gaining more value from it due to having more stats, unless you have absurdly high stats from buying a lot of potions. But realistically, the enemy will have more stats than you, so you just have to outplay them on the board, and you wouldn't want too many skulls on the board, otherwise it will make it so there are multiple skull options at once, and you can't take all of them, and then the enemy will hit you, and you don't want them doing that. So yeah, I would keep them untraded. Especially this one. If you're keeping any of them untraded, definitely keep this one untraded until you have finished Pure Faction, especially if you're planning on using 3 of them, because the chance it's going to backfire is exceedingly high, so do be careful. But yeah, it's a weird faction where you don't actually want to trade them immediately, but just be wary of that, and it should be pretty straightforward. As far as Pure Faction win is concerned, you have the tank up front that's never going to die. If it does die, you might have a backup one, and then you just do like a standard AoE kill if somehow your skulls aren't already enough to win. So pretty straightforward faction. You basically just buff the armor attack troop, the epic one, And then if you want to go through the AoE build to kill them out, you just go with this. Otherwise, you can go down the scroll route and kill them with the troop that keeps buffing up its armor and attack. So that's pretty much your 2 routes you have for tomorrow's faction. And that's pretty much tomorrow's faction. Well, that's that. I'll be covering it more tomorrow, of course. Anyways, so things that were going on today. Let's go do the... we don't have a special pet right now. We got a pet today, though. We don't have a special pet event going on. I don't think Adventure Board had anything good, did it? I had a little bit of gems. Might as well go for them. Get those few gems. Every gem counts. I am looking for a Phoenicia build. Guess what? It is buried. There it is. I'll run this for everything. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be annoying. Every single thing in the kingdom has score reduction, but you don't have any access to Enrage, which means it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of, what's it called? Except it had both. It reminds me a lot of Hall of Guardians, where you have to deal with a ridiculously high amount of reduction, and even though you got to benefit from having all the reductions, the enemy also gets the benefit from having all those reductions, which made it pretty annoying. It was among one of the more annoying factions, though the main thing that made it annoying was more so the gargoyle than the actual reduction. Like, the reduction was bad, but what made it worse was the fact that gargoyle basically put you on a timer that made you just die if you didn't kill it quick enough. Whereas nothing is really necessarily going to kill you on the opposing team. It's more so just killing them in a timely manner without wasting too much time. Otherwise, the AoE will eventually kill you. But as long as you don't dilly-dally too much on the fight, it should be fine. Which is one of the arguments for kind of going for 3 of the legends. Because if you can get to the final battle with 1 epic 3 legends, it's worth it. The problem is if your legend or your epic dies, you're going to have trouble in the final battle because you're not going to have a proper tank. Like, all your troops will still have 30% reduction, but you're not going to have that armor gain on it or that extra attack gain to get extra value. Plus, you have no mana accumulator at that point because the troop that gains armor attack is basically your mana accumulator. It's only 3 explosions, but that's not a small amount of mana they end up getting from it. Assuming they all hit perfectly, that's 27 gems exploded. So it's basically effectively around 12 to 13 mana, depending on how many ones you end up getting. But that's not bad, because that's basically his mana costs being given back, because he's a 13 mana cost, and he's generating you back like, what, 12 to 13 or so mana? So he's basically 1-to-1 drain, mana accumulating his mana back, unlike the other thing that just drains and just creates skulls that can miss, which you do not want. But it's basically just spam epic and legend and just win. Should be a pretty straightforward faction overall, as far as pure faction. As far as delving through it, for the earlier battles, we'll be showing teams for the other video though. But for the earlier battles, we'll be doing most likely the standard Guards Avatar build, where you do with Sir Quentin Hadley, and then you do Guards Avatar, kind of like how you do Rolling build, but with Guards Avatar, because you have access to that due to yellow. And aside from that, for the later battles, we're probably just going to run a standard Iron Gadzugoth team and use Harpy Mage. Keep in mind, since you have access to Enchant, Harpy Mage is basically a turn 2 Empower. So you could just end up using Harpy Mage as your mana accumulator. Just make sure to put her a little bit further back, because she's going to have Enchant, she's automatically going to gain her mana anyways. So you don't have to have her too far up in your team, otherwise she's just going to be blocking your red or yellow mana. So good idea to keep her a little bit further back. Also, what happened to our Storm? We had a Storm, and then we didn't have a Storm. Are we using a hero class that doesn't have it? Did I forget to switch it again? Honestly, I should just go switch to Sunspear so I don't forget. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not set to Red Storm right now, am I? Oh, no, I am. Wait, what canceled it then? Something canceled it the previous battle. Oh, there's the win. Something canceled it. Ah, there we go. Alright, let's go mess with the class event. So, of course, we had a team set up on Monday. Did I ruin it, though? Summer's here, Necromancer class. I haven't set to Necromancer. Do I want to set to Necromancer? I probably want to set to Archmages. I think the main reason I had it set to Necromancer was for, to make it pure Necromancer earlier. So I don't think we necessarily need to have it like that. Because I mostly had it like that for the event. Because we had to do it like 4 times or however many times, I can't remember. But every single week you generally have to do it some amount of times based on whatever the event thingy is. Well, we are going to take Archmages here. It is one of those situations where it is better. Mostly because if you're killing everything simultaneously, there isn't much of a need to have the insta-kill. So we're just going to run it this way. And the reason for Triple Azurus is mostly just to get the mana going, of course. There are other ways to do it, but more mana is better. More mana is always good. As we have balloons randomly on our shoulder. Honestly, I kind of like that pet. The little balloons on your shoulder. Let's see, I'll take that over. Hit our other hit there. Honestly, there's like no limit to what they'll make a pet. It could be literally anything. Eventually, we're just going to have a door and it's going to be a pet. Actually, do we not already have that? I know we have a shelf. Well, specifically a shelf on an elf, which was a really good joke. I did like that. That was a pretty solid joke. We're starting to get so many object pets. Almost reminds me of Pokemon. Like, the very first, like, generation, like, really extremely solid. The next few, okay, they're still doing good. And, like, current generation, it's like, okay, I think they ran out of ideas. Those make, like, literally anything into a Pokemon. That feels like where pets are starting to head to in Gems of War right now. Like, they started pretty solid, then it was kind of okay, and now, like, literally anything will be a pet. Oh yeah, Wall of Bones. We do have access to Wall of Bones, true. For the very early battles, we don't need it yet. The deeper we go, the more relevant Wall of Bones will be. The reason we don't necessarily need it yet is because we can one or two shot right now. The speed at which we can go is going to be perfectly fine. But, gosh, can you stop summoning though? But, yeah, once we need to start casting consistently at least 2 times, it's definitely going to be good. Fortunately, this battle did end up surviving. Normally, you would have enough damage to kill here. Actually, are we even set to magic? Why does it feel like we're not? Because we're not. Oh, we are, but we're not all the way set to magic. Seems like our damage was slightly off. Let's see, back to there. Because normally the first 2 sets we can end up killing, but I think it was because of Giants. Giants do have that slightly higher durability on them. Like right here, we should be able to one-shot. I don't see why we wouldn't. I need that brown potion. It is so tempting. It's like just putting a brown potion there, like, oh, there's your win condition. And then it doesn't give it to us because there's no way to take it. One single black magical should wipe here. Yeah, there we go. What is that pet from again? 505 Games. They're doing a sale and it's their 15th anniversary. Because 505 Games acquired, they were always the publisher of Gems of War. They were never not the publisher. So for 7 years now, they've been the publisher for Gems of War. But they've also been, they bought out Gems of War last year, I believe it was. Or sometime last year. Year and a half, sometime around there. I think it was about a year ago. And they're now owned by 505 Games. Kind of like how Fall Guys got bought out by Epic Games and now they're owned. Now Epic Games owns the studio of Mediatonic. That's basically what happened with Infinity Plus 2. 505 Games now owns their studio because they got bought out. Pretty much what all the big corporations are doing. Buying out all these smaller corporations and becoming bigger monopolies. Not like they're a monopoly, but you know. Becoming bigger companies of smaller companies. Oh, let's see, I'll take it over. Why you no Surge? I needed that. Let's try this again. Okay, now switching over to Wall could be a good idea. Because we're at the point where we're going to need to cast more than once. So I have fixed our issue. All we have to do is just move it to the back. Oh, wait, never mind. No, I need to do more than that. Fail. It would help if I replaced them with walls. First, I must replace them with walls. Let's see. Now we can do that. It would help if I replace it with the right troop. Just possibly. Just ever so maybe. Let's see. Gen 1 included a magnet and a poke. Hey, they used a lot of good things in the actual video game to justify having one as a Pokeball. There was a lot of funny tricks that they end up doing with it. Like, you know, when you would go into that one area and they'd basically be like traps. Because in the game, because it was really low graphics at the time, they basically made like all items just like a normal Pokeball thing. Or, you know, like the little Pokeball icon. However, they were able to do this to also have a Pokemon that looks like it. So basically, they could basically make trap item spots by basically having the Pokemon be the spot. So Voltorb actually wasn't bad. The idea behind it worked. It worked pretty well. Only problem with this is I need more purple mana before we can do anything though. Oh yeah, I fixed our issue. We're gonna have to cast a couple times though. Whatever, let me get my thing. Yeah, they weren't all animal or plant-based. Well, they have to do something for electric type. It's going to be kind of hard to do that for electric type. Is there even still to this day an electric plant? Probably. That's just a good question. I must check. Because that's not something you would normally do. I'm thinking of one. I don't think it's an electric plant, though. I think it's a ground plant. I know it almost seems electric. Let me go open up a Google. I must know now. Is there actually an electric plant? There has to be with how many Pokemon there is. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't an electric plant. Let's see. Pokemon electric plants. Wait, is plant even a typing in in Pokemon? It might not be. Maybe electric grass. Oh, but there's definitely electric grass though. Is there electric grass Pokemon that looks like a plant? Not seeing any. You would think that would be a thing though. My quick Google search does not yield my results. Oh no, there might be. Yeah, there isn't actually a plant type, is there? It's just under. It would be under grass type. I'm still not seeing any under grass. There has to be one though. I'm not thinking of. What do I even need here? I need a purple. Which we don't have a cascade there. Still need more purple. Oh no. Oh no! He got rid of all my purple. Yeah, I don't think this is too much quicker than just casting twice. It can be if they stop stealing my purple. Oh, yeah, now we can auto-win. Except we already auto-won. There we go. Because both times now, we've just classed double black manacle without even needing necessarily the spam on the other thing. Ha, the little Rotom lawnmower. I don't think that counts. But that is pretty funny. Yeah, doesn't Rotom have, like, 5 different forms or something? Like normal Rotom and, like, multiple different elements? For, like, no apparent reason. I'll take the red there. Take our purple, and now we have infinite mana. The wonders of infinite mana. That's always funny. There's several troops that can do that as well. Doesn't this one give magic? No, it gives attack. I know one of them gives magic. I think it's Wall of Thorns I'm thinking of. Is the purple-green one that gives magic. That one and Dwarven Gate are probably the best too. The other benefit of that one is the only one of them that actually uses multiple colors. The Thorn Wall. Because it uses both green and purple. Whereas all the other ones only use one color. In this case, purple. Oh, so where's our other battle? Did we accidentally skip a Valraven when I wasn't paying attention? Oh no, this is a Valraven. I was gonna say. That would have been bad. I have done that before though. Not pay attention and Valraven just eludes us. Please let me cast before he runs away. There we go. Well, I'll find out if we actually did, because I believe we still need one more Valraven. We do. Oh, wait, I just realized, did I run away from one of the battles? Wait, hold up. To change my team, did I? I may have. When not paying attention. Did we actually run away from one of the battles? We might have. But if we get lucky on Valraven, it might not matter. We need a Valraven here for it not to matter. I think I did run away from one of the battles, didn't I? Hey, it didn't matter though, huh? Did we actually run away from one of the battles earlier? I think we might have. Because I accidentally set 3 Azuruses and I was like, whoops, let's go out. But luckily we got a Valraven here, so it doesn't matter. In me leaving that battle, assuming we did, it didn't actually ruin our Valraven luck, because that battle still counts towards the Valraven, even though we ran from it. The bad thing would have been if there was a Valraven in that fight, and we ran away from it. That would have been bad. But the fight still counts towards Valraven progress. So it didn't actually get in the way. So that was almost really bad. But luckily, going into a battle and running away still counts for Valraven progress. Even though you're not getting, you know, any points or anything for the battle. So we were still able to get the Valraven there to save us. Normally that Valraven would be pointless because you would have just done the final battle that you needed to win. However, in us accidentally running away from one of them, it kind of saved us. So yeah, it wouldn't have been too big a deal. It's a difference of 10 gems. But hey, 10 gems is 10 gems. Goes into the pile. We're going to spend like 2,500 gems tomorrow. Every little bit helps. Goes into the pile. Also, where on earth is the last purple I need? Any purple will do. Literally any purple. Even just a 3. Or 4, or any amounts. Purple, please! We're gonna lose before we can get any purple. It keeps denying it too. You know what? We'll just go cast Black Manacle. There we go. Problem solved. But yeah, overall, I'm not sure if using the gates really helped us much. Mostly because there was already something that was denying purple in some of the battles. Or 2 of the battles had something that denied purple. But there we go. We got our gems. Not a huge amount of gems, but in total, between that, we got 25 gems there, 20 gems there, 10 there, and 15 is that? I'm pretty sure. So that's 25, 45, 70. We got 70 gems at minimum. Or if you got lucky, you got 145? Otherwise, 70 gems. Not bad. Anyways, did we do dungeons yet? We did. So we did that, we did that, we did that. Let's commence with Ward Event. I'm pretty sure our guild still needs help with it. So let's go help them. I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten the final tier yet. Nope, we have not. Though we did get these, so let me go see what we get. Double blue? Boo. Nothing good. Oh, we got another badge as well. Might as well grab it. Instead of magic. Because isn't it just magic damage anyways? Even though it's a skull, which doesn't make any sense. It seems like they were going to make it skull and then last minute change their mind. Seems like what happened there. We're still using the same team. Except we moved our hero all the way into last slot because I don't want it to die. We have learned from their higher stats earlier. So we have now secured it into a nice safe location. Where it can still die, but is slightly less likely to die. These battles won't matter. The main battle that's vicious is the Bone Dragon. That one. Those 2. Here is where we can die. You've been thinking about the 1k vault keys and how many power orbs you're probably sitting on? Probably enough to craft a mythic. I don't think it's enough to craft multiple mythics though. But definitely enough to craft at least 1 mythic. Is how many vault keys we're sitting on. And we're about to have even more. 3 weeks from now. Which is 4 weekends from now. You know, 3 weeks, 1 day from now. We have another vault event going on. So we're halfway there. Of course, those are always big events. That was not big, though. We only got 1 single blue potion with no extra turn. Though, in all fairness, he wasn't frozen, so there was a 0% chance of getting extra turn. However, still ended up missing the other part. Okay, now we can get our extra turn chance. And we still miss it with 50% chance. And all I do is feed blue mana to every single thing that needs it on his team. Luckily, we do have the freeze there, so we did get frozen by the end of it. So we can go take that purple, hopefully get lucky here. Unfortunately, not get lucky. I have no way to convert this with any kind of value, so we will try this for a 3rd time. And once again, we have not hit extra turn. Wonderful. Now he's blocking my purple mana. I'm going to refresh that. Alright, well that died. This is why our hero's all the way in last slot. This is why he's in the back. Because that would be a dead hero right there. Otherwise. Do I even bother taking skull here? It's better taking mana. Oh, I still got a skull out of it. I kind of want to get hero all the way to full mana before I do anything else. Unfortunately, there is no way to do that. Because that's not enough mana. Okay, he died to death mark. Unfortunately, he got a hit. And now he's going to kill us. No! Bone Dragon! The tides have turned quickly. You were not supposed to take a skull. How could you? Oh, we got a Valraven now. Valraven, go replace the Bone Dragon. Go replace the only threat on the opposing team. That if it goes out of control, will just auto-kill us. Like, I think the goal is just don't cast him. Because the chance he's actually going to give us value is so exceedingly low. That's just not worth it. I think that's a problem. Because he keeps blocking my purple. Which becomes very problematic very quickly. I was going to let it die. Pretty much just going to let all of them die. So again, this Bone Dragon doesn't sneak a random skull like that again, we should be fine. Supposed to be a barrier on them still, so... Still got that value. Alright, there we go. That went much smoother than the other one. Though one of them was replaced by a Valraven. That wasn't anything too relevant, though, that was replaced. What does it even do? Deal damage to an enemy, blah blah blah, extra of tower. It does get to explode through reds, though. Are we a natural hoarder? I don't know. I don't hoard too much. Though I generally don't have too much to ever hoard to begin with. Main reason we hoard resources in this game is so we could always cover stuff if they ever do anything. So if we randomly need like 1 billion resources for something, boom, we have it. Let's see. Take that. We got a squad of it too. I mostly wanted it for the purple though. Those are going much smoother. See, all we have to do is just not cast them and it's gonna be fine. That's all we had to do to solve the issue. Just don't ever use his ability. Skull's pretty much enough just to kill him. Could find one more randomly. That is not one more randomly though. But that is. Deathbringer. And we're right back where we started as far as battles. Good old Valravens. How are we in the guild so far? Oh, we're actually dipping a bit. Also, we have 2 zeros. And one of them's Rogue. Where you been, Rogue? Oh, it's not too big a deal. It's pretty much already done. Because I know Rogue's been at least one of our streams this week. I don't think he's here right now, though. But he hasn't touched a word of it. Let's see. We'll take that for now. Get our mana. Do we need anything else here? I'll just throw Deathbringer for now. Also, I noticed it's not doing it now, but this shirt was actually green screening earlier for whatever reason. I'm not sure why it's gray. There shouldn't be any reason why it should green screen. But it was a little bit earlier. I guess it was because of the lighting, midday. It was kind of causing it to be weird. Pretty sure it hasn't happened this stream yet. What do we take here? We'll take our greens for now. I keep wanting to cast his ability. It's just such bad value. Even if it works, it's barely even going to be worth the value of getting it to go. Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't take the potion. Which is why we're setting it up. Unfortunate. We don't really have a good cascade here. I mean, a good convert here, so let's take that. Well, Isabel was saving up on Nomapaloozas. I know that. She has like 30 Nomapalooza or something. Whereas I only have like 10, I think. So she'll easily get the keys back. All it needs is a Vault Event. Because of course it's a pretty bad value to ever bother using a Nomapalooza when it's not a Vault Event. There's really no point in doing so, it's just so much less loot. Like you physically can if you wanted to, but it's pretty pointless. Relative to how much more you get during a Nomapalooza. We should have 5 battles left. I believe both of these were the same score, weren't they? Pretty sure. We'll take the Necromancer. I don't think level matters for this, though. We'll take it. Yeah, September 24th to 26th is the next Nomapalooza, or Vault Event, whatever you want to call it. They're both technically the same thing at this point. We'll also find out if they're going to nerf it for the 3rd time in a row. Really hope they don't, though. It's going to cause more economy issues if they do nerf it than if they didn't. Just because of backlash in general if they were to nerf it for a 3rd time in a row. It's probably better if they just keep it as is. It's going to cause more harm than good. Nerfing it a 3rd time. Let's see. Like, the first one kind of made sense. The second one was kind of inevitable. The third one is just, they did it so horribly that they just want to see how far they can get away with nerfing it almost back to normal. Let's see, I'll throw that down. The spooky tower. I wonder if we're actually going to get the spooky tower. Normally we don't see it inside events like this, like right now. There's a chance we might get it as a natural troop at some point. Halloween is 2 months from now. Or sorry, well, yeah, 2 months from now, basically. You know, a month and a half. It's basically 2 months from now. All the way at the end of October. You guys know when Halloween is. Let's see, what do we need here? Take it that way. Alright, I'll take the other one. Green to purple. Doesn't have any alignment. Oh, I could take an F for brown, though. Well, the enchant's also going to kind of give us that value, so it doesn't matter as much. Plus, we got some free brown over there. Now that Gnome has been nerfed, is the Ironhawk team still the best? Yes. It's still the most efficient way to grind them. It's the most efficient way to get the deeds, or, you know, get the verses. The verses have never been nerfed, by the way. The versus rate that you get outside of Nomapalooza has, to this day, still never been nerfed. It's still the exact same that it was the day it launched. A lot of other things got nerfed related to Nomapalooza, but the rate at which you specifically get... Oh, he took a double turn. But this time they didn't make it into a 4 times. Yeah, that's that weird double turn glitch. But the rate at which you get Nomapalooza gnomes, when it's not a Nomapalooza, or, you know, the verse gnomes, I should say, is the exact same and has never been nerfed a single time. It's still the same way that it was on that super overpowered day. It's been nerfed in a Nomapalooza itself, but specifically when you're farming outside of it, it still hasn't been touched. Yeah, the Ironhawk team's always going to be the quickest way, unless they somehow add something that can literally win instantly when the battle starts. It's like the only way you could win quicker than Ironhawk at this point, is if they physically make a trait that, like, kills at turn 1. Just from the traits triggering. Like a trait that does like 8 damage to all enemies when the turn begins, or something similar. That's like the only thing they could ever do to make it quicker than what Ironhawk does. So yes, double Ironhawk is still very viable. And is arguably the most important mythic in the game now because of it. Just because if you have what you need to farm a Nomapalooza, you could farm literally everything in the entire game off a Nomapalooza, basically. And double Ironhawk allows you to do it quicker. Like, it's not too bad using a cheaper lane team, but it's about 50% quicker running double Ironhawk. Which isn't too big a deal if you do have to go over lane. But it's really high priority to try getting 2 Ironhawks. Ever since Nomapalooza came into the game. Even before then, it was still pretty good. But especially since then. But anyways, so we did that. I guess we'll go hand out a code, and we'll probably mess with some explore grinding for the last little bit of stream, see if we can get anything juicy from that. If anyone still has any questions, anyone want me to go over anything I missed, do let me know. Let's see. Just reading through chat. Oh, so hello, Warren. From what you can find, the only grass electric Pokemon is Rotom. Yeah, there's no plant then. So I was correct. There is no electric plants. I was thinking of that one plant, but I think it's called, like, it's a ground grass type or something. Not a electric grass. So yeah, there's no electric plants then. Just a lawnmower. Just a Rotom pretending cross-playing as a lawnmower. Anyways, let me go ahead and do you guys out code. I do not have my code section open. One moment. Well, I have the code section open. I don't have my code. The location where I get my codes open. I'm gonna go grab that. Click save so I know I used it. X out of it. Let's see. Bring this over to the actual code section where it is redeemed. Loading. Why is this page taking so long to load? There it goes. Put that in there, put that in there. The good old slow computer. Can't even load like a static page. And here you guys go. There is the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com right underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chats. Copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with S. Is that SG? I can't even see the letter. Yeah, SG. And give same order as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Oh no, Bellsprout's not the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of, I can't remember its name. It's oh gosh. An unusable on PC mobile version of the game. And definitely feel free to leave a like on a stream. That's gonna bother me now. Let me go figure out what Pokemon I was thinking of. It's not an electric type though, I know that. I'm trying to think what I can Google to get it up immediately. Plant Pokemon? No, not what I want. Let me go to images. Like, the second I see it, I know what it is. No, 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 no. Is it not even a plant? It looks like a plant. Oh, it's not the first thing you think of when you think of a plant. Gosh. There it is. What is it called? What is this thing called? Why don't any of these just immediately say what it is? I found its image. I'm not sure what this thing is called. Oh, there it is. The Lieb. The Lieb? Is that how you spell it? Oh, what on earth is that? The Lilip? The Lilip? Or is it Cradilly? Wait, what? No, Cradilly. Is that it? Words. I have no clue. Cradilly? A Cradilly. I got it. That's the one I thought that was electric because it has like yellow markings on it. But it's actually a... I have no clue what typing. Let's see. It is actually a... grass rock. Yeah, it's a grass rock. It's not a grass electric. Okay. Anyways, on that tangent. But yeah, it's called a... It's called a Cradilly, I think. Or Cradilly. Yeah, that. Cradilly. Whatever. Anyways. That was a weird tangent for nothing. That was on the like the thing from like several conversations ago. Anyways, enjoy the redeem code. Let me go and let's just mess with some token grinding. Anyways, I'm not even sure what started that tangent. But it has concluded on Cradilly, which is indeed not an electric plant. Did I ever post the new Delve teams to start the levels? No, we'll have a video on that either tomorrow or on Saturday. We haven't posted them specifically though, but we will be. I'll also be going over them during tomorrow's video stream, I should say, as well as video if we do get to the video in time. Also, I just realized I'm using the wrong team, aren't I? It's not gonna stop me from doing it though. That will not stop us. Alright, now let's go use the correct teams. There we go. I'll throw that down for now. Oh, so I just realized I'm still using the Flamer for a version of this right now. Well, in all fairness, it barely even matters. In both teams, you don't necessarily even need to cast the weapon to win. Yeah, we did a lot of time for Puzzle Quest 3 today. And dailies normally don't take that long. It's normally closer to 2 hours. The reason it took so long, that stream, is because we spent like an hour and a half talking about literally everything that changed in the most recent patch. And apparently, that's a lot of stuff. The patch notes were pretty short, but the amount of talking that you had to do to actually say everything, since not everything was in the patch notes, was extremely long. Because our patch notes only covered like half of what was actually changed. Honestly, I feel like the community would make a better patch notes than the devs normally do. Though it is hard to keep track of everything, specifically. Though it pretty much missed like half the stuff that actually happened in the most recent patch. And some of it we still couldn't go over. Like, they added a reflection mechanic. I still don't know what it does, though. And the patch notes didn't mention it. I assume it interacts similar to Gems of War, where it reflects back X amount of damage, and hopefully it works through barrier. I know some other reflect in the game that isn't specifically called reflect does do it through barrier, so hopefully that game does that as well, because barrier spam is so prevalent in that game, even more so than in Gems of War. Because in Gems of War, it doesn't really protect you too well against skull spam or, you know, dispel or anything like that. In Puzzle Quest 3, you're basically invincible. Nothing multi-hits in that game, so you get a barrier on yourself. And if you have a way to re-barrier, you basically never die. If you just have a way to barrier consistently every turn. Like, turn 1 is the only turn you can even remotely die. And then after turn 1, you just barrier every turn forever until you win. And because there's no multi-hit or dispel or anything that bypasses barrier, you just auto-win. I have a feeling they might tweak that. Because you basically become literally invincible. Unless you really misclick or mess up somehow. Let's see, let's get it over. Yeah, none of the important changes they needed to do to the game actually happened. Ooh, an Anu, though. Like, none of the changes were too bad. Some of them were bad, but they were, like, kind of understandable. Like a few of the ones they did. But there were so many good things that needed to still be done that they still haven't done. And hopefully they will do very soon. What did we take here? I just want to destroy everything. The only problem with that is our hero might die here, and he did. Fail. That's one nice thing about Flask. You just cast Flask and you don't need to worry about losing your turn. It's pretty nice in that regard. Probably should have went for mana there instead, because now we need to go take our whole turn just to get mana here. And he might die in that time. Luckily he did not. Though doesn't I think have a life gain? It's probably easier just trying to kill this thing at this point, just because he steals so much life. To the point that that effectively actually has less life. Especially since it kills itself right now. Which is also helpful. Don't even need to finish the battle, it does it for me. Does burn pop barrier in Puzzle Quest 3? Yes. It always has. It never hasn't popped barrier. It protects you from the burn damage and then triggers on barrier. Kind of like how poison and everything does in Gems of War. Though I forget, how does burn work in Gems of War on armor? I know before, it used to burn through all the armor before it would hit your barrier. I believe it does hit barrier now. But I know in Puzzle Quest 3, it always just hits on barrier. However, it does take effect after the enemy. So if you get hit by both an enemy attack and a burn, the burn would take place after the enemy is attacked. Basically meaning you get the barrier for the bigger hit. The only issue with that is it'll hit on HP, which is really bad for how scoring works in a lot of modes. So you have to stun them on that turn if you want to not take HP damage. Otherwise you lose score and things like the events. Or, you know, like the, no, literally the events, you know. Like the dungeon event and the other thing. They don't really have a proper name in that game, they're just called events. I'm pretty sure they'll get a proper name at some point. Unlike Gems of War where every event has this proper name. Like raids, invasions, bounty hunter, you know. And you kind of know by the word what event it is referring to. But in the other game, they're literally just called events. They have no particular names yet. They probably will at some point. Oh, let's see, I'll take that over. Poke. Is the code still good? Nice. We go repost it then, for anyone who's just getting here. Definitely make sure to go use it if you haven't already. Good juicy gem key that you can use for the mythic that comes out tomorrow. It's not too good of a mythic, but that's one step closer to getting it. Or getting a different one. Or getting any drop for that matter. What's it not moving? There it goes. That was weird. It was like selected, but it wouldn't move to the right. To the right, to the right. Had a nap and just woke up. Nice. Yeah, midday naps are always nice. Luckily, my schedule is flexible enough that most days, if I really wanted to, I could. Not like literally any day. But a good majority of days, if I feel like taking a midday nap, I just can. It's kind of convenient. Let's see, we'll take that up. Hopefully there's 13 plus red so we can actually extra turn. Exactly 13, how convenient is that? I'll kill that so it doesn't kill us, and then we kill everything, and then we won. Success. Oh, let's take it to red. There's enough reds that we should land next turn. Nope, apparently not. Luckily here we're still alive, and now it's dead because of it. So just enough HP to live. One more skull would have done it in. But if anyone else knows any other questions that you want me to go over, do let me know. Otherwise, I think after this next chest, we might call it a wrap for tonight. And then tomorrow, we got a lot of things to go do. We got a new Mythic, we got a new faction. Mythic we'll be covering a video on in the morning, doing a key opening and just kind of doing first impressions, a couple teams, stuff like that. Overall, probably a Mythic worth skipping, but it's okay. It's probably a skip overall though. It's not useless, but it's so situational that it's probably not worth going out of your way, unless you just really want to, you know, get the Mythic for completionist sake, for kingdom upgrading purposes. As far as actual usability, it does not seem like it's going to be used much. And aside from that, we're going to be having a new faction, of course, as well. And we'll be doing a stream starting at noon tomorrow, which is in 15 hours from now, if you don't know what time that is in your time zone. It's exactly 15 hours from right now. We'll be doing a stream and messing around with the faction, reading through it, going over everything with it, you know, doing all the normal stuff you pretty much do with a faction. Then tomorrow night, 1 hour prior to now, we'll do more of the faction. And then Saturday night, at this time, we'll do Pure Faction. Or, you know, an hour prior to now on Saturday. As we do every night. 8 p.m. is the standard time. Let's see if we throw that down. Get a nice Zugoff in there. Perfect Zugoff. Well, not perfect Zugoff. Perfect Zugoff is you cast once and you automatically win by doing nothing as follow-up. Oh yeah, someone was asking about the pet earlier. But the pet that we have on our shoulder, it's the one from 505 Games. They should have mailed everyone a free copy. I'm not sure where the mail went because I tried going into it and I didn't see it. But you guys got this pet too, right? I should have. But yeah, was this what they handed out for the anniversary? I know PC Mobile probably got it. Maybe on console it didn't roll out. I'm not sure if you didn't end up seeing it. But yeah, the pet that we had on our shoulder, someone was asking that earlier, and I just remembered that I didn't answer the question yet. But yeah, that's just from the 505 Games anniversary thing. They're also doing a special sale on Steam. So I guess they kind of want to do cross promotion with that. So it's like, oh yeah, let's go have something for that. But yeah, it's the 15th anniversary of 15-year anniversary of 505 Games. 505 Games is the publisher of Gems of War, and about a year ago they bought out the company of Infinity Plus 2, which are the devs of Gems of War, as well as Puzzle Quest 3. What do we even go for here? What was I doing? Did I finish out the chests? No, I did not. Let's go do that. Where's the Abbey so you can relieve your stress? It's all the way at the top. Oh wait, did you end up buying Darkest Dungeon? Did you get it on Switch? Because I believe there's a Switch version for it. I don't think you can do mods on it though, on Switch. Because it doesn't have like the whole thing for it. But the base game's still amazing. Like the stream that we were doing all throughout was no mods at all. It had DLC, but not the mods. Though there is a mod I might end up playing through. There was actually a gigantic mod expansion that's still in like its beta phase, but I think it's fully fleshed out. That just launched a couple weeks ago. We might end up trying it soon. Is there? Yeah, there's a Switch version. Though honestly, I would say the Steam version's the best one to get if you happen to have gotten it. If you're going to be put on your Steam Deck later. Well, for one, you can put it on your Steam Deck later. But the other reason being, you can actually do mods for it. I don't believe any other platform can do mods except for the Steam version, because of the Steam Workshop. There might be some kind of other weird way to do it if you got it some other way, but I'm pretty sure the Steam Workshop's the most convenient way of doing it. Because there's a lot of really good mods for the game. Yeah, it was on sale for like a few bucks the other week. Not sure if it's on sale anywhere right now. It normally goes on sale for like $5 normally, or so. Oh, we didn't get anything good from our final chest there. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Otherwise, I think we will call it here. We got a busy day tomorrow, that's for sure. Mythic video will be up hopefully before noon at some point. And maybe like barely like before noon. But sometime around there. Once I wake up, get situated, get it recorded, all that. Get it up. And then at noon, we'll do the faction. And we'll go from there. And I should have a lot of fun. Should be a pretty decent faction. And the Mythic's a little bit more underwhelming, unfortunately. But I'll still be able to get it. Still be able to get the upgrades and go from there. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys soon. Have a wonderful run for the rest of your week. Best of luck with the new Mythic if you're going to be trying for that in about 6 hours. As it's going to be up in about then. If you're going to try for it the second it comes out. I will be sleeping, but you can get it in exactly 6 hours from now if you want to try for it. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Best of luck with the Mythic, and I'll